Call this meeting to order. Roll call. Present.
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 Here.
Okay, thank you very much. If you'd all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the invocation today, is that you, Persephone? Okay.
I'd like to say good evening on behalf of Liberal Ministerial Alliance to our mayor, our vice mayor, to all of our citizens here and our commissioners. I'm honored to bow in prayer for us, that God will continue to cover our county and our city. Let's pray. Father, we thank you tonight for your goodness and your mercy and your grace. We most importantly thank you that rain is on the way. We say thank you. We thank you for lowering the temperature. There are so many of our city workers out in the heat and working to keep us safe and to keep things looking nice. And we pray for their safety, and we pray for their families as we conduct business here tonight. Father, may you be honored. May we use your wisdom. Will you give us insight and clarity as we move forward, Father, as we are beyond the half year, as we continue to move and to make improvements in the life of our citizens as well as the life of the city workers. Have your way in here tonight, Father. Give us clarity, give us understanding. Help us to understand that we are servants and we work for the people. So we thank you for that tonight. In the name of the Lord Jesus, we pray and ask these blessings. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, item number 1 tonight, awards, proclamations, presentations. Do we have any of those? No, we do not. Okay. Item number 2 is the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you very much. Minutes from the July 12th, 2022 regular meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the July 12th, 2022 minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. Item number 4, items from citizens. Do we have any citizens who'd like to address the commission? Yes, sir. Just real quick, come forward here. Rules of the commission. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized by the chair, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address in an audible manner for the record. Presentation shall be limited to 5 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. Commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. Commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. So,
Hello, my name is Ryan Flanagan. I run Little Rascals Pet Care. It's a grooming place here in town. I'm proposing that we hold a fundraiser event for the Liberal Animal Shelter. We're wanting to have a food drive and adoption event. The shelter is overrun right now with dogs, as some of you may know. So I got with Tara, and we're wanting to know if you guys could possibly donate one of the city buildings for the event on August 13th.
like one of the community buildings,
Yes, sir.
like this or
Yeah, or the Mary Frame building.
Very Frame, okay.
Would all the proceeds go to the animal shelter?
Correct. It would be mostly a food drive for food for the dogs there. We would gather donations from the community as far as like products or services that we would give away as prizes for people who donated money. They'd be entered in to win those prizes. But any donations of money or food goes directly to the shelter.
Have you happened to check with the rec center to see if Mary Frame's available that day?
I called them, but they said I had to get a hold of you guys first. And then they told me to call Brad, and I left a message for Brad. And then, yeah, we've tried.
I did return your call yesterday.
I know, and I'd already left.
We can check and see if it's available.
Okay.
And we are open to other dates if that's not available. That's just what we had in
So we
mind.
should have, we have Maharon and, we should have 3 or 4 buildings, we can find one of them hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a tremendous idea. And I'm sure that that you guys would appreciate the.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Hopefully we can adopt some dogs though.
That'd be great too. We got a few.
I would just say, work with staff and make sure that we can find dates and things.
Okay,
that we'll-
Yeah.
perfect.
So, Mr. Mayor, the only thing is, because we're getting this a lot, those rental fees are set by ordinance. So I've directed the staff that we will not comp anything without commission approval. So I'm completely okay with us comping this, but I'd like formal action from the governing body to authorize the fundraiser.
And if I could add to it too, in this situation, you've got a department that's part of the city of Liberal who's actually spearheading it, involved with another entity that's helping out. So I think in those kind of situations, obviously, we're helping to raise money for one of our own departments. I wouldn't see any issue with it as well.
On this, are you gonna want a motion or just a consensus?
Because of the direction that's been given by Rusty to everybody else as far as, hey, this is our policy, why don't we have you guys approve it by motion? And that way it's very clear in the minutes of the decision of the.
Can we do that in this part of the agenda?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay.
I make a motion, we waive the fee for the building for the fundraiser for Global Animal Shelter on August 13th with whatever building we can make available,
Or whichever date is available.
or whichever date's available, yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions,
Thank you guys so much.
All
We
right, all those in
appreciate it.
favor?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good, thank you. You guys were gonna be with groups, I think, that'll be next. Anybody else? No? Okay. Number 5, items from groups, now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandy Fowler, and I am the instructional coach at Liberal High School.
And I'm Carter Kruger, I'm our associate principal.
So we just came tonight to request to waive a fee. For, I have it on the wrong picture, hold on, sorry. So we have a tradition at the high school, coming back from summer break, we like to get all the staff together in like a not so formal environment. We have like a little cookout and everybody brings some stuff. So we're requesting the use of the green shelter at Light Park on Friday, August 12th from 6 to 9. And we're requesting to have the fee waived for that, if it's possible.
So once again, it's only a $25 fee, but once again, it's set, so, and just to give everybody some context, we had a group that did a viable, event, but someone, and we're not sure who, comped them one of our buildings for 5 days. So, in order to prevent that, I mean, I understand it's a nominal fee, but it's still, it's ordinance, and staff can't do that, only you guys can do that, so we would be fully in support of waiving the fee for the school for this, but that's why we're taking this direction.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we waive the fee for the green shelter at Light Park on August 12th.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, item number 6, the consent agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as printed.
Okay,
I'll second.
so we have a motion and a second. For those who don't have an agenda in front of them, it's all airport leases tonight, so any discussion on any of this? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, item number 7, ordinance 4581 to amend section 3-108 for alcohol sales. Keith, it's all here.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, before you is ordinance 4581, to amend where alcohol by the drink is allowed for sale within the corporate city limits of Liberal. It was looked at for new businesses wanting to come in, that our current ordinance was very restrictive. There are multiple places that have been allowed to open over the years that are selling alcohol that is in violation of ordinance. This would correct all of those and allow new businesses to come to town.
Is this also for the one on Second Street?
Yes, this also defines our core commercial district, and by state law, you cannot sell alcohol within 200 feet of a church or school. There is an exemption in Kansas statute that says if you have a core commercial district that is set up for multiple uses crammed close together, that rule doesn't apply in that core commercial district. So there is a map attached. Everything marked C3, which is all mostly the downtown area, would fall under core commercial district. Therefore, just in that zone, you would be able to sell alcohol within 200 feet of a church or school.
Okay, and I know we've got Eli Swati. I know you'd kind of like to address the kind of the broader ramifications of this whole thing. You want to come up, Eli? Sure.
Eli Swati with the Seward County Development Corporation. I know this issue does not boil down to just dollars and cents, but I do want to address, we have access to a development opportunity profile. So this is data that's put together for our community every few years by Network Kansas. And in 2019, we had our last one done. And at that point, we were losing $1.6 million a year to not having some of these businesses in our downtown. Basically, drinking establishments like this, restaurants that had that. So essentially all of that money was going outside of our community to other communities that have that. So just first note is that people are willing and want to spend money on this, and if we don't have that to offer them here, they're gonna go somewhere else to do that. Second thing is, this is a very growing part of the economy. There are currently 66 microbreweries in the state of Kansas. There are only 5 in southwest Kansas. A few in Dodge City and a few in Garden City. And so this is growing not just for local economies, but it brings in a significant amount of tourism as well to communities. People want to travel and visit these places. So it is a balancing act, I know, with zoning and the businesses that we have to keep in mind, not only the churches, but also the local economy. But this is a great step, I think, for the city to help make strides in that direction. We have a large number of churches in this town, which is great. But that core commercial district, as you know, is the heart of the community, and ours is in need of some new life and some new businesses. And if we have people interested in spending that money and revitalizing some of these buildings downtown, I think it's in our best interest to look at our zoning, as Mr. Bridenstine has done, and find ways that we can accommodate both in a fashion like this.
Well, I know too that this is not just something that we want to do to hopefully draw those in. We actually have gentlemen here who's purchased a building and would like to establish a microbrewery here in town. I know there's also a talk of a restaurant that wants to move to town, which would be not move to town, but open here in town. Would like to serve Italian food and wine and beer with that too, and because of restrictions that are in our current ordinance, would not be able to do that. So it's not just something we're hoping to have come. We actually have the situation here now where we can get those two, at least two, and hopefully two brings more than two to our downtown and to help revitalize that. So thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. So are there any questions or discussion on this item at all?
No, just kind of to follow up on that part, a lot of these changes are being done right now on a proactive basis. We have businesses coming in that are interested, so we know we need to kind of adjust. Looking forward though, I would like to be more, or actually we're being reactive because we have them coming in and we have to address issues we have. I would like to be more proactive in the future to try and address some of these issues, so we could also have areas set up for businesses to come and not have to wait for a full ordinance change in a city commission meeting, so I am really looking forward to that.
And I
On
know
that note-
that's, I mean, in visiting with Keith and Rusty, and there's, you know, there's a lot of times when we're having to do variances from code, zoning, those kind of things, a lot more than we probably should be doing. So I hope to, and Dr. Keith, I know he's looking at this too, is that we begin to make some changes in our zoning ordinances and things like that, so that we're reducing the number of variances that, because they're expensive, they're time consuming, and, you know, someone who wants to open up a business is just one more thing that they have to do. And, you know, I you know, was in Eli's chair for a number of years, and I really got tired of hearing, well, you know, liberals anti-business, and, you know, we put up so many roadblocks and things to prevent business from coming to town. So this would be step one in making that process easier and certainly more user-friendly. So I'll get off my box now.
So on that note, I move we adopt ordinance 4581, amending section 3-108 for alcohol sales.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. Keith, you're setting up shop here.
I brought a tent with me.
Item number 8, ordinance number 4582, allowed usage in zoning districts and naming a core commercial.
So this is the other half of the alcohol thing. The first one changed where alcohol sales are allowed and said where it's zoned. This ordinance will amend the zoning uses. So we kind of looked at where restaurants or microbreweries would want to set up when you look at cities. We did go through section 1, added microbreweries and restaurants that serve alcohol and stuff to commercial. Section 2 is C1. Section 3 is C2 commercial. Section 4 renames the C3 Central Business District as C3 Core Commercial, so it ties back in with that previous ordinance you adopted. Section 5 adds the uses to the C3 Commercial. Section 6 adds it to industrial park area, which would be out by like the airport. Section 7 to light industrial. And I would ask that when you guys make your motion, you would pass this with everything except section 8, which I put in there by error. It is I2 heavy industrial, which I don't think we need restaurants and microbreweries in the heavy industrial area, and I put that in there by error.
And this is kind of like part B of the first, would, you know, extend that use into all our commercial and light industrial, right, Keith?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, anything like that for Keith?
Where do we have heavy industrial at? Just National Beef and,
Yeah, heavy industrial is primarily National Beef. I think there's a little bit south of the railroad tracks along 54. But like the other industrial areas, you know, the lighter industrial, you get down around Pine and 83, there's some light industrial, which I can see stuff going in out there. And where Chuck Wagon used to be over around Toot and Totem on Pancake, there's some light industrial, so that's why I included the light industrial.
okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance 4582, allowed uses in zoning districts, in naming core commercial in exception of section 8.
Yeah, accepting section 8.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion needed? Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Item number 9, resolution number 2380, amending the plat fee schedule.
So, I realized you guys just did the fee schedule a couple meetings ago. By clerical error, it was missed. It was realized that when somebody goes to create a new subdivision in this town, they have to do what's called a plat. And the fee for that was way higher than it should have been. It was $250 for the base fee and then $100 for every lot that was on it. And generally, when they do a plat, we're talking 45 to 50 residential lots, making it like $5,000 to do a plat. It was voted on by the Planning and Zoning Commission to change the fee. They recommended $500 for the base fee and then $50 per lot, which would cut the fee for doing a plat about in half, and it would aid in development of the city for people putting in new residential subdivisions and stuff. So I'd ask you to approve that.
On that, were you satisfied with those fees, or would you recommend they be different?
Anything we lower is gonna be better. I did look at a flat fee, because I was figuring up, about what it costs the city to do it through mailings and publishings and stuff. Now that will waiver some, where if we set it a flat fee, that may become a little too low. I think this is a very good proposed price, because it, like I said, it takes a plat and takes it from $5,000 down to $2,500. So, I mean, it's cutting their cost in half for the developers to do a plat.
Is that the only line in this list, Keith, that's changed?
Yes,
Everything
sir.
else is the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Make a motion, we adopt resolution number 2380, amending the plat fee schedule.
Second.
Okay, it was almost a tie, but we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, one more, right?
One more.
Okay, item number 10, a board appointment for the Planning and Zoning Board.
So, the Liberal Planning and Zoning Board is supposed to be 7 members, 5 from within the corporate city limits and 2 outside the city limits but in our extraterritorial. At the current moment, we have 3 openings. Everybody has to show up to a quorum. We did receive a application from Mr. Ernesto Goitia Jr. I don't think he's here this evening. He did go in front of the Planning and Zoning Board, and they recommended, how do I put that? They sent him for recommendation to appointment to you guys. And that's what I got.
Okay, I know, I spoke to one of the members of the planning board, and he couldn't say enough good things about this guy. And I don't think he has a lot of experience, but you gotta start somewhere, and, I think it's a good place. He's really interested in getting involved in city, and so I think this is it's a great board. You'll learn a lot, that's for sure. And I think if they're okay with it, I certainly am.
How long do they serve for? Or is it just?
Until they don't want to, or until there is an attendance requirement that if they miss so many meetings, they get voted off.
Well, I move we appoint Ernesto Goita Jr. to the Planning and Zoning Board.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 11, street department, front-end loader repair.
Mr. Mayor, we're gonna table this. There's 3 front-end loaders in the street department, 2 are fully operational, so instead of spending $11,000 to fix this one now, we're gonna wait. There's no immediate need to spend that money right now today. That was my fault. We had a little miscommunication before I left for Louisiana on Friday, and it went on there, so that's my fault.
At least it just reflects no action taken. We can move on to the next item.
Okay. Okay. We'll move slowly until you're ready. Okay. Item number 12, Unicode, recodification of the City of Liberal Code Book.
Mayor, Commissioners, we spoke about this item during a work session. So basically, what we are asking is approval for the statement of work from Unicode in the amount of $11,950.02. It will be funded through ARPA funds. I don't know if you guys have any questions on what Unicode was. I think a couple of you guys have seen it. In my office, we kind of went through a couple of items, what it does, but it will basically allow us to recodify our code book, which hasn't been done professionally since the year 2000. So it is definitely time.
So this allows us to keep it
Yes.
up to date,
It will
correct?
be kept up to date. We'll send in, anything we pass, we'll send to them, and it'll be updated quarterly. So,
It goes on the website, so anybody can just go on the website. And then it's got the other list of cities that are also in Unicode. So if you want to compare and contrast our ordinances and our code with Dodge or one of the other cities throughout the state, you can just click on that city, pull up there, see what they say about this particular issue. So it's very handy.
and then the, annual fee of $4,745, we'll just budget that annually.
And that was a big thing with this one when I saw it, was you'll be able to see all the codes online, so it's completely transparent. Anybody who has a question can pull them up there, and I always ask you this.
Mhm.
This is the one that also helps get everything up to date, remove the old ones, anything that doesn't match with statute?
Yes, they have on-staff attorneys, they'll go through, change everything, and then they will have meetings. They said primarily the first initial meetings they request the city clerk and the city attorney, but they will also send updates and meet with the commission to make sure you guys approve of any changes we are making. So we will have continuous meetings on this. I think it'll take from 10 to 12 months for the final version to be completed, but we will bring things to the commission as they come in, either at a meeting or during a work session, however you prefer.
Yeah, I think this is phenomenal. It's needed badly.
Yes.
Don't get us up to date with the rest of the world.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Make a motion, we approve the funding for Unicode powered by Civic Plus for the amount of $11,950.02 funded from the ARPA funds.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions, or are there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Item number 13, Civic Clerk Agenda Software.
In the packet, we put the 2 different quotes from Civic Plus for the Civic Clerk Agenda software. We did receive a 20% discount this year because we are going with Unicode, so they put that 20% discount into our first year for Civic Clerk. This is agenda software. The cost is, well, there's 2 different amounts in there. We just wanted you guys, the commission, to decide. The difference is one has a live meeting manager option, which that option it's for broadcasting electronic voting, and display pages during the meeting. It is $6,000 extra per year, so it is a big expense. And whichever version the commission prefers will be paid for the first year through ARPA funds and then be budgeted after that. And we did send a demo. I don't know if anyone, it was a 5-minute quick demo. There will be a lot of training for this, whatever version we go with staff and commission. That is included in the fees. So it will get all of our agenda items, everything will look uniform. So all our memos, everyone does different memos. Everything will be sent to the software approved and then sent to the commission. So everything will look the same.
The more expensive option is pretty hard to justify. So the staff recommended the lower option, the 93.28 for the first year and 82.11 thereafter, which will be a budgeted item moving forward. The other one is nice to have, but it's not $250 a meeting nice.
Right.
Right.
Any questions? The add-on, the $6,000 a year add-on, that, tell me again one more time what that, I know it does the live vote.
I don't know if Tim has any added information. It has, sorry, Tim.
That's all right.
Let me look.
Essentially what the live meeting is, it presents exactly how each commissioner would vote, or whether they're yay, nay on particular items. It would actually display all of that on the screen, but it also does a little bit more than that as well. It records all of that. It will link, like, if you're, like we're streaming right now, it will actually create a timeline within the video, and if somebody wants to skip to a particular portion of the video that interests them, it will link that based on, certain things within the time that happened. So, but like Rusty said, is it worth the $250 per meeting for that? I mean, it's a nicety, but it's not necessarily necessary.
Yeah, I think that's for cities with 300,000 people.
Yeah.
Is that last function he talked about? You can literally, on the YouTube video,
I
just
was
click
just
it.
gonna say,
Yeah,
you can
that's
just
what I was
click
thinking.
on the minutes and it'll,
Okay, any other questions for Lisa? Any discussion? Guess we need a motion first.
Make a motion, we approve the civic clerk agenda and minutes management software purchase in the amount of $9,328 from ARPA funds, and not to include the live meeting option.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 14, municipal court remodel.
Good evening, Mayor Parsons, Vice Mayor Lindenbroker, Commissioners. Kim Klinkingbeard with Municipal Court, here with Gary Geis from Earl's Engineering. I'm here tonight to ask for your approval of the quote from Legit Construction to remodel the courtroom. As part of the original City Hall relocation, which was years ago, which Chris could probably tell you how long ago that's been, the intention was to remodel the courtroom. And the courtroom has never been remodeled. So, and if anyone's been in the courtroom lately, it is in dire need of some remodeling. So, like I said tonight, I'm here to ask if you would approve the quote from Legit Construction. They have designated the least amount of days to complete the project, between 37 and 43 days. And as you know, with municipal court, we do have court 4 days a week. So if this is approved, we would have to relocate to another building or office. And the amount for the project would be $91,649.22. $28,932.22 would be funded from the remodeling fund balance. And the remaining balance of $62,717 would be funded from the municipal court diversion account, which was approved by city prosecutor, city attorney Kane. Are there any questions?
When do you propose starting this project if it's approved?
As soon as
Yeah,
possible.
okay, and you said you need to relocate. You have an idea where you want to relocate to?
I do. I think what we would do is reach out to Judge Peterson over at Seward County and April Warden and ask them if we could use one of their courtrooms, since they do have several courtrooms, and we would just relocate over there until the project was finished. We think that might be the best, since they would be just right across the street from us. And we'd really like to start on it soon before the weather turns bad, so the clerks and the judge could go back and forth. And, you know, prisoners, the public, we know it'll be an inconvenience for the public, but, like I said, if we just notify everyone, I think it will go smoothly.
So then, there's one contingency on this. The reason you're getting it now instead of the next meeting is because the current quote will expire before you meet again in August. Earl's Engineering is gonna conduct what do we call it, a inspection, a survey of the building, the structural integrity of the entire building. If that comes back clean, then we're advocating proceeding with the project. If there's some structural damage or the building appears to be in overall disrepair, then we're gonna have to have a different conversation. But at this time, there's nothing to indicate that we won't pass the structural test. It's just before we spend $90,000 on the courtroom, only to find out that the rest of the building is about to collapse. We want to do our due diligence, but because of the timing of the quote, we wanted to get it before this meeting instead of next meeting.
How old is that building?
In the 50s?
I'd say at least, yeah, if not older than that.
I'd always heard 1951, but I don't know.
So 37 to 43 calendar days or working days? Calendar days, okay. So 6 weeks.
Yes.
Well, I like the fact that it's paid for without tax dollars. That's always a good thing. So give us an overall, what you're gonna upgrade, Kim?
I'll let Gary
Or
handle
Gary.
it since.
Basically, take out the carpet, new carpet, replace ceiling tiles, convert all the lighting to LED. And this is including the old chambers room, the hallway, and then the little pre-trial room back behind it. It's the whole wing, basically. And it's all new lighting, new ceiling tiles, new carpet, new trim. And then wainscoting in the courtroom, entire perimeter, a wood accent panel wall on the back of the judge, a new constructed bench that will match the wainscoting around the wall, a dividing wall with 2 gates that separates the audience from the attorneys. I think that's, we're gonna move a wall. Right now, there's on the back wall of what used to be the commission, there's a purple cabinet, and it's inset in a wall. And we're gonna bring that wall, square it off, and that also squares off the pre-trial room, and so that they can have a better use of the room for the pre-trial room.
And I know that room's not set up to be a courtroom at all. With that, it's where the commission, so there's a curved place in there with a whole bunch of chairs, and I think setting it up as a courtroom probably work better. Furniture, anything like that? Chairs, whatnot?
We price, the original price was where the two attorneys sit. They already had desks, and we were just gonna resurface the countertop on the desk, get rid of the purple. I think they were going, her and Jason were going to, perhaps price, because the countertops came back pretty high, they were like $6,000 a piece. So I think they were gonna price and do a little research just to see if they could help find a whole desk
Right.
for cheaper than that.
Yeah.
That would be the only
Okay.
furniture other than rebuilding the bench. Yeah, and then they will, run, kinda like what we did at the new commission chambers in the rec. They're gonna have outlets in the floor, and then Tim Lunsford will have his IT connections in the floor as well. And the TV's gonna be hardwired so that you can do your Zoom and drug court and have an easy connection to the TV.
Well, that's been a long time coming. I was HR director back when you guys were promised that remodel, so been a long time.
That's needed.
I think that's all.
And we did look at the tables, and they were a little bit pricey on this, but we did look at them, and it looked like maybe one table was like 2,500, 2,000, 2,500. We felt like we could maybe get 3 new ones, one for the back room where the commission chambers were before, which we use for our pretrial room, which we're hoping to use as a meeting room too. If we can expand that room a little bit, we can fit more people in there. But, so I think we can cut that cost down, so. And have brand new tables instead of redoing the tops of old tables that have been in there for 30 years.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the quote from Legit Construction for the municipal courtroom remodel in the amount of $91,649.22 to be funded from the remodeling funds balance in the amount of $28,932.22 and the remainder balance of $62,717 to be funded from the municipal court diversion account.
Subject to an integrity test by the engineering firm. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions for Kim and Gary? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 15, Tyler Technologies annual maintenance fees.
And since I'm up here, I can go ahead, but I would just ask that you approve the invoice from Tyler Technologies in the amount of $13,571.25. This is the annual maintenance fee that runs from September 1st, 22 to August 31st of 23. It includes the content manager, the utilities cashiering, and the municipal justice fees, and all the other features. So I would just ask you to approve this invoice.
This is a, this is a budgeted item, but because it exceeds the spending threshold for staff.
Make a motion we approve the attached invoice from Tyler Technologies for the amount of $13,571.25. And where it's coming from. Data processing.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'm just gonna ask, is this the same software we've used in the past? Was there any others that you guys would have considered?
This is fairly new, right, in the last 2 or 3
It
years?
is. We actually went live with it in April.
Oh, okay.
So it was a
Oh,
work.
that new.
Yes, it's very new, very new, so.
I remember
yes.
approving this like last year.
It is, it's new.
Good. Has it been good so far?
It's been good. It's been a little challenging, but we're working through some things. I was talking to the prosecutor earlier, but, we're really close to our online payments, so that's coming along for the public. So I'm hoping here in a couple months, we'll have that up and running, and we'll, make a Facebook post on our page, on our municipal court page, and let the public know. But yes, it's just taken a little time, and everybody's been really patient, so we appreciate the community and the public's been great, so.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 16, city staff.
Good evening. Jacob Hampton, I'm a patrol sergeant with the Liberal Police Department. I'm also one of our peer support advocates. We're asking permission to send 2 of our other officers to a peer support training. It's a 40-hour basic training. It'll be August 22nd through 26th in Eudora, Kansas, at a cost of $400 an officer. The peer support program is a vital program for our department. I've been an advocate since 2018, and what it does is it offers our officers a chance to speak with somebody who knows what they've gone through, knows what they're going through, without worrying about being judged for their feelings. Their conversations with me are confidential. I also am able to get them in contact with a licensed therapist if it needs to go that far. We also do critical incident debriefs for our department. If, anytime we have a major event, we will gather everybody up, sit down, and talk about it, because sorry, this is something I'm kind of passionate about, but we've lost too many officers to suicide and alcoholism, other things, because they felt like they couldn't talk to anybody. This gives them that opportunity, so it's very vital.
And just to be clear, this is not an action item. It's something I wanted you guys to be aware of, that the Chief Cutshaw and the staff are doing to take care of the employees within their department. And it's an exceptional program. And I think it's even better because it's done internally. It's much easier a lot of times to talk to the guy or gal that you're beside every day than a stranger. So
Right now, there's only 2 of us, and as we promote, other officers of lower rank tend not to want to talk to people that are, the other one is Captain Olson, I'm a sergeant, so we're trying to get some of our lower ranking officers into this too, so our other guys can feel more comfortable with it.
unless you guys have
No,
any
it sounds like a
questions.
fantastic program. Yeah, good to know.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Brad?
I got a couple of things.
Shoot.
So I don't know if you guys know, but we've been trying to get with KDOT to figure something out on getting 54 highway striped, and it's been a back and forth. And then we met with Yasmin Marino, who's a public affairs advocate for KDOT, and she brought us an agreement that the city signed in 2000 with KDOT, and that highway belongs to us. So the striping is gonna be on us, and it's in dire need of needing restriped. So we reached out today to Road Safe, who's gonna be here to stripe Second Street, to see if they could give us a quote on, at least a ballpark figure on what it's gonna cost to restripe that. And we also found out we're the proud owners of 2.6 miles of Highway 83 also, that we are 100% responsible for.
For maintenance purposes.
For maintenance, right? Not, we don't get to make any decisions, right? But we get to
Right.
maintain it.
If it goes bad, we gotta fix it. If it needs striped, the signage and everything.
How long did it take her to find that agreement?
It didn't take her very
Didn't
long.
it really?
We've been dealing with KDOT, and this group's telling us, out here is telling us, this is our deal, don't worry about it, we'll handle it. We just kept going back and forth, so she got with Larry Hall, the guy out of Garden City, and he's if anybody knows it, he does.
Yeah.
So, but she did bring us a copy of the agreement, so. I wanted to bring up, the other night I was out to the cemetery, and I was visiting with the guy, and a UTV came through the cemetery. And I'm not against UTVs at all. But this UTV, the road was blocked down at the end, so they couldn't go around, so they literally drove around the barricades and drove across graves.
And we had noticed that there was a lot of, UTVs had a unique tire track, but they're appearing all over the place. So if you're a UTV driver and you see somebody doing this, don't let him ruin it for the rest of the group. Because, I mean, you could ban them out there, but unless you're there 24/7, you're not gonna stop. I just, if I would have not been in my personal vehicle, because this person wouldn't have known me from Adam, it probably got kind of ugly. And by the time you call communications and everything, they're typically gonna be gone. So I just want you to know that it is going on. And the guy I was talking to, he's out there all the time. And he said, this is going on all the time out here. So, I mean, if we see it, we're gonna stop it. It might get ugly, but, because it's just disrespectful to be doing that. And I don't know if it's because, you know, we can go there because we're in a UTV, but we can just cut out across these things.
So there's a lot of tracks appearing throughout the grass sites?
Yeah. And you know, the grass is so dry and dead,
It doesn't bounce back up, does it?
Yeah.
No, and you can tell. One other update, the drainage out at the ball fields. All the drainage is put in, the pad's built, they're gonna start on the building next week.
Good.
So that expanding that parking lot is gonna make a world of difference when we have events out there. We had one this weekend and we had to block off a lot, but the whole parking lot was full.
It was busy.
You couldn't get another car in there.
Yeah, it was definitely busy.
Yeah. So you'll see some concrete going in.
So does that parking lot get surfaced like the rest of it?
So.
Or is it just gonna be
It's
just?
gonna be gravel.
Right.
And I think eventually the goal is crushed concrete, millings, chip seal, and then we can stripe it.
Oh, okay.
But it's gonna take a couple of chip seals before it's good enough to stripe, because, you know, the gravel's gotta get pounded into it.
Right.
And until you get some stripes on the ground, the first person in there is gonna dictate how the parking goes. And it might be a disaster, but we're gonna add a couple hundred parking spaces anyway.
Oh, that'd be good.
It'll be real beneficial.
Yeah. So how long before you're building, I mean, how long is that process before you get it up?
I think, well, yeah, the concrete's probably gonna take longer than anything.
6 weeks?
4 to 6 weeks on the unit. You had any time that you're gonna move, contact ourselves to move it. Well, we can't move the old one out until we get the new bill. But the street department is gonna pour a pad at the park shop. We're gonna take the old shop, Marcellus is gonna move the old shop from out there to the park shop, and it's gonna be like our beautification building. When we get our tree orders and when we can buy bulk fertilizer and save a lot of money, we'll store it in there. And they're gonna be pouring the pad out there, and as soon as we can get that cut away, we'll move it out there.
So probably this fall
Oh, yeah.
sometime?
Because as soon as they get done, we're gonna shuffle everything over and move them.
Yeah. That'll be great. That'll make that place look 1,000%
And
better.
you're gonna get all that garbage up there.
Yeah.
Will be inside a building.
That's good. Right.
And everything will just be one huge, from softball over by the soccer fields all the way around to dang near Highway 83. Just be one massive parking lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Any other city staff? Chris?
A couple of updates. Recreation, this past weekend, they had I think it was a 12U or 7U.
10U, 14U, and 18U.
Okay. But anyway, you know, I don't have the final numbers yet, but driving by, I know there was a lot of vehicles there. It was really hot this weekend, but it looked like it was really well attended, and, you know, so, you know, with that, I know there was a lot of out-of-town people that came to play. So hopefully they spent some time in Liberal and, you know, hopefully supported our businesses and so on. And then this Saturday, the rec department's having a splash and dash. I'm not sure if they're taking signups yet, but, or if they've cut that off, but I'm sure you're all welcome to join in if you'd like to, but, and then we have our Caitlin Assault coming up on August the 13th. You know, and you're certainly welcome to participate in that too. There's a short course and a long course, but, you know, that's usually a lot of fun. I know we have a lot of volunteers that go out, you know, and just help it make everything successful, and I know they're just getting ready to start building on the, all of the obstacles and everything, and, you know, of course, every year they try to do something a little bit different, so it's not a been there and done that kind of thing. And with regard to the budget, you know, we're still working that up, you know, but we anticipate probably sometime in August of having our budget work session. We'll definitely, you know, we haven't really discussed a date yet, but the budget hearing we're looking at having on September 13th is what we've advertised. So, you know, by then we'll have to have everything everything finalized and, you know, something that the commission feels comfortable with, and then we can go from there. So, and that's about all I have at this time.
Okay.
So let me throw one thing in on his deal. On the baseball tournament, we had Denver, Colorado, we had Lamar, Colorado, Eads, Colorado, which I have no idea where that's at.
It's on the way to Denver this
Okay.
weekend there, yeah. I go through there every time I go there.
We had a couple of teams from Amarillo. We had Dumas, Texas here too. So there should have been some motel rooms and
That's
some
good.
restaurants.
Anything else from staff? Okay, item number 17, city manager.
All right, so we met with IMA, our healthcare broker, last week, and if the initial, or the current numbers hold with how the plan pricing is, you know, we have Plan 1 and Plan 2, we're looking at about a $71,000 increase from last year, which is significantly less than the $308,000 that we'd started with before we brought IMA on board. So we'll do open enrollment, I believe, the 25th and 26th of this month. Plan 2 is much more affordable for the employees, and it's the same coverage. It's just a lower deductible, but depending on how those numbers shift, it'll kind of, that 71,000 can go up or go down, but we've made some recommendations to you guys on funding percentages. Most of it stayed the same, but we did try to uniform some of it up, so but we're very pleased with the number that we see so far. The code footprint for the rec center is with the state fire marshal. I believe they have 30 days from last week to review it. Fingers crossed that comes back good, then we can move forward with the I don't know if we have to rebid the sprinkler system because it's been so long, but I think that's kind of the first step will be a meeting with Earl's Engineering, Matt, Clint, Chris, and myself, and we'll sit down and we'll formulate a plan for how we move forward, but I think the sprinkler is kind of going to be the first big ticket item that'll get us back operational in the areas that we had to shut down and get us into our council chambers, our commission chambers. We still are looking to a date for the public open house for the wastewater treatment plant. I know you guys got to go through, but I'd still like to do that before school starts. But more to follow. We'll get you, when we come up with a hard date on that. The next two things that I'm going to say are very preliminary, so no one take and run with this, but I had a great meeting with April Warden from the county. We discussed a number of partnership things. One thing, and I've also discussed it with President Bennett at the college and Dr. Carter today at the district, but finding some efficiencies that we can all work together on. One thing is the chip seal, buying a much bigger volume than just us individual taxing entities buying it on our own. We have talked, this is one that is way premature, But we have, both the county and the city have issues establishing quorums for the planning and zoning commissions. So we had initial talks about the potential to merge those two boards. Now, Keith would still present all of our stuff to the board, and it'd be his responsibility to explain our standards, same thing with the county. It would just be, especially since we have trouble filling our seats, they're having trouble, especially getting quorums during harvest. The more people that we can get on there, the more likely we are to be able to be more responsive to the customers. Just letting you know, if you show up this month and we don't have a quorum, you gotta wait out another 30 days before that body meets again. And so from some of the developers and some of the other folks, it's really a hindrance to them sometimes. So very early in that discussion, but I was really, really pleased with the discussion that I had with President Bennett and Dr. Carter and April on a lot of collaboration things that we have going. And then lastly, since we last met, Chris celebrated his 20-year work anniversary with the City of Liberal, and Karen her 15-year anniversary with the city. So they'll get recognized on schedule, but I just wanted to make sure I brought that to the attention. And finally, for those who don't know, we want to offer our condolences to the Warren family as Ron's father passed away last week. So that is it, Mr. Mayor, unless there are any questions of me.
Okay, thanks, Rusty. Item number 18, items from commissioners. Since Ron is absent tonight, obviously, you're up, Jose.
I'll just touch on all the things we talked today. I'm just excited to see that we're working together both to move forward and simplify a lot of processes, to look at inadequacies, including, the structural integrity of the court and police department. So I think we're doing a great job, our city staff, our city manager, in getting everything going and being more proactive for the city, for clients, for everybody who wants to be here. And then the cooperation between the entities, I mean, that was something I harped on, that we had to work together so much. So thank you for getting to work with the other administrators. And as soon as we get somebody picked at the hospital, I'll make sure that that person is also talking with you guys. Should be by September, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Jeanette?
I just want to give credit to the county and city fire department. I was out there, they were at a large fire for Dr. Flores, and they literally saved his life. And I think when you see them in action, it kind of just impacts you more on how hard they work. And so I just want to show my true appreciation for them. And another conversation that I'd like to get started and just kind of start looking into it is more accessibility to our soccer fields and having soccer tournaments. I know I have to take my son all the way to Wichita, and I've just been hearing a lot from the community that that's a big interest here, and I honestly think that that could have a big economic impact for the city of Liberal. And so just want to start planting those seeds and getting those conversations started.
So about a month ago, we sat down with Nick Rotolo, the sport tourism director, and I told him that I wanted Liberal to be the soccer capital of Southwest Kansas. And they put out a flyer about the adult league soccer. I saw it yesterday. So we do have some momentum building in that arena. But we actually agree with you about soccer in Liberal.
There's a lot of kids that even went out to a camp all the way to Kansas City. And so I just think if we hosted something here locally, we would definitely be able to attract a large crowd.
We concur.
Chris?
That's it.
Mine? I'd like to thank all the city staff. They're doing a great job. It's hot outside. I know it. I've been out there working it all day long, and you're going, I watched the guys go by on their mower, and I'm all like going, I'm glad I'm not you today. So, but everything always looks good in this place. Town always looks great. Parks always, they're still green, which is better than I'm doing at the hospital. So they won't let me turn the water on anymore, so brown grass it is. But one of the problems we do have in town, like everybody's saying, is dogs at large, cats at large. I mean, police people, keep your animals locked up, do what you can. Go collect your animal from the animal shelter when you can. Adopt. What else can you say? I mean, that's a big issue going on right here in this town. And you drive around this town, you'll notice it's a big issue, because if you're on the Facebook page for the animal control, there's so many dogs that are so cute on there. I'd take them all home, but there is an ordinance. You're only allowed to have so many. So, and I'm at that number. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I'd like to offer my condolences to Ron and his family, and that's a big loss, and Dawn was a big part of this community for a lot of years, so condolences to them on their loss. You know, we didn't introduce him, but I'd like to thank Levi Williams, who has and is going to make a significant investment here in opening a microbrewery here in town, showing faith in our community, and I'm excited about what we did tonight. Not just for him, but I think that's going to make downtown, you know, our goal is to make that a destination, and maybe this is step one in that direction, but I'm excited about that. I want to thank you for what I do in advance, you know, for what you're going to do. So, and again, always thank you, staff. I know how hard you work and how little thanks you get. So, I just want to say I appreciate everything you do, and that's all I have. Item number 19 is the vouchers.
Make a motion, we approve the vouchers for $1,392,550.59.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any questions? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you very much. We are adjourned.